I don't know if Zach LaVine's moving. You had a report earlier in the day that the 76ers were interested in LaVine, and we've talked about that before with Tobias Harris, some picks being involved in that, and then the Lakers, pulling their shit. And you know what's happening right now. This Klutch people, they're doing this. The Bulls want more than D'Lo and Rui Hachimura and a bull 2029 pick for Zach LaVine. And he is basically getting to force his hand to the team of his choosing. Number one, I'm so sick. Everybody's like, "Oh, they should be." No, you shouldn't. All right, no, you shouldn't. You're getting up and you're moving around. That's a part of the gig. You have to understand the gig. But the players have so much power now that a guy like Zach LaVine is holding this shit up. What do you think about this? If he can't come back, if they want to win, brother, they're 4 games away from 500. They're 13-17 now. They are 8-3 without him.
The thing that you just said is Klutch's new leverage. Is this team is doing so well with Zach that you can't let him come back. You're almost willing to let him go at the lowest price you've ever had because your team's having success without him, and throwing him back in there could throw a wrench in that. But I agree with you. I do not want D'Lo, Rui in a protected first from the Lakers. If it's an unprotected first just because of LeBron's situation and the fact that he's not going to be able to play until he's 50, I would have obviously interest in a future first from the Lakers. They're going to.
LeBron's gone. I'm assuming Bronny's not coming out this year because of the heart issue that he had. Right. I'm just guessing. We'll see how the season unfolds. We got a lot of season left, right? So we'll see how it unfolds. But right now he's like getting, anywhere from 12 to 15 minutes a game. In the 2 performances I've actually gotten to sit and watch him play.
So but that might also make him a low enough draft candidate to fall to the Lakers.
Wouldn't that just be it? Then it's a fucking movie. None of this is real. I'm going to get in my conspiracy theory about how the earth is flat and I think everything is controlled by aliens. That's not true. I don't think that. People probably believe that I think that, and I understand why. That's not what we're talking about.
And I understand why.
It's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Zach LaVine. I can't deal with this, that he is, anyway, with the Bron thing and Bronny, but yes. Bron might leave because I do think that Bronny's name is going to garner some recognition. Plus, I think he's when he was coming out of high school, there was a clear value there of playmaking and defense.
Well, I mean, and for a lot of these teams that aren't the Lakers, that aren't always going to have the best players in the league just come to their team because of their location and their brand and everything that comes with being a Laker. There's teams that would draft Bronny just to have LeBron come play for their team for a year, even if it's the last year of his career, because it's probably the best thing that'll ever happen to the franchise.
It'll fucking generate a ton of revenue, for whatever city he goes to.
Yeah, just being able to sell LeBron James jerseys for the rest of your franchise's existence,
right,
will make you enough money to put several grandchildren through college. So,
yeah. I just with the whole Zach thing, that 2029 pick, like you said, I mean that might be all right. It's 2024 in a couple days, right?
Yeah. So,
but the Lakers always come away with getting a star, though, and that's what freaks me out about it.
No, we've said from the beginning, the absolute worst case scenario for us is to send Zach to the Lakers. 1, because of the value that you're going to receive, and 2, because it feels like what's been scripted, what's been plotted, what's been planned for a while now, and it sucks. And I don't like feeling right when I don't want to be. And
can I ask you a question?
Sure.
I'm so excited to ask this to you. How do you feel about LaVine right now? That you just kind of said you think that this is trying to be forced for a while. This has looked like it's being forced for a while, that he's been trying to go to the Lakers. So how do you feel about it? Because I know you're a Zach guy. See, I'm not a Zach guy. So
as a Zach guy, it sucks, but I get it. When a front office goes all in around a team that just about everybody and their grandma can see is not going to work, and said wasn't going to work, and for 35 games, everybody was proved wrong because Lonzo Ball's just connecting fit for this roster was so fantastic, and everybody was bought in, similar to how this Bulls team has bought in right now. with each other and for each other into what they're doing and how they're doing it. It was a similar buy-in that you had when Zoe was healthy. Without Zoe, Zach has not had that buy-in. It's been him and DeMar struggling for the hierarchy on this team. And with one of them sitting out on the side, it is clear that there is talent here, that this front office isn't completely oblivious in what they're doing. They just don't have players that are all on the same page at this point because continuity has lasted a little bit too long for everybody.
So okay, so hang on, brother. One guy derailed it this bad.
Yeah, one $40 million player who needs 25 shots a game to be.
No wonder why they can't fucking trade him. It's right there. So Tobias Harris. I mean, I guess I'll take him for depth behind Patrick Williams. He's going to have to accept his fate of coming off the bench unless they move Pat to the 3. I wonder if that's something they would do.
I mean, at this point, it is almost, and we talked about this previously, it is starting to look like it's going to be a decent haul for Zach, but you are going to have to take equally bad contracts back, worse contracts back for just as long as Zach is owed $40 million a year.
Well, Tobias got what, 2 years left?
Yeah, so that doesn't really qualify for that. So 76ers are going to be looking to send Tobias, who around the league is still considered a good player. He's not considered a max player, but he's still considered a good contributing player to a winning team. If they're sending him, they're not sending more than 2 of those picks that they got, and those probably aren't even going to be lottery picks. So it is a very weird scenario where what happens if you trade DeMar, you trade Caruso, hell, you might even find a trade partner for Vooch before you find one for Zach right now. And then you have a rebuilt roster around Kobe White, Zach, and Pat, which, a month ago, 2 months ago, wasn't something that was crazy when you talked about it. But now it just feels like the craziest scenario ever because you want to trade Zach for a bag of chips right now, and it just doesn't make sense. Right. At one point, this guy was looked at as your franchise player, and right now it's like, just get him out of here. I don't want to see him suit up again.